podcast buddies. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Scarlett. How are you?
Awesome. My God, I think it's been 12 hours since we saw each other last, since we last sat here in this studio together and hyper-analyzed The Handmaid's Tale.
We're back at it, because there's another trailer.
Very exciting news. Trailer number 2, with all of the spoilers.
Actually, I do have a little bit of housekeeping. Since we're on here, we'll try to just get everyone on the same page. So this is really only going to be for our YouTube page. So hello, if you're watching on YouTube, because that is what we're doing with this trailer breakdown, is going straight to YouTube. This is not going to be a podcast episode. But while we're here, please subscribe to our channel, because we are brand new to this whole YouTube thing. We've had a podcast since season 3, since the beginning of season 3, and then in the off season we went back and we did a book club series on the Testaments, and then we did a rewatch of season 1 and season 2 with the full picture of all of season 1 through 3 plus the Testaments, taking all of that knowledge and then going back and rewatching 1 and 2. So last night we just finished our recording of season 2, episode 13. So our rewatch is officially complete, and that'll all be posted very shortly. And after this trailer, this is it. The next time you'll hear from us, we will be talking about season 4, episode 1, Pigs.
Roxy, how are you doing today? What are you drinking over there?
I'm doing well. I am drinking some tension tamer tea. It's just it's a peppermint and star anise tea. I'm abstaining from alcohol this evening because I just received my first COVID vaccination. So hooray!
Yay.
Just want to make sure that I'm not hindering my body's immunoresponse any more than it already needs to be.
Look at us getting all vaccinated. I get vaccinated tomorrow. I can't wait. Shoot me up.
Oh, and I get a new COVID test because I'm still in COVID quarantine at the moment.
Yay! How are you? How are you feeling though?
I feel fine.
Okay, good.
No symptoms. I'm good.
That's fantastic news. So, what are you two drinking this evening?
Water. Also hydrating. Technically, I just woke up.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I am drinking the same drink that I was drinking last night for our rewatch of season 2, episode 13. The Word. Drinking your girlfriend's a badass, because it was delicious last night and it's delicious now.
For those of you that'd like to know what Marjorie is drinking, you can check out our season 2 finale wrap up.
Yeah.
Hear it.
Probably won't be out by the time you're viewing this, but it's
Probably
coming.
Not. Wait for it.
So what was it? It was a little tequila, rosé, grapefruit juice, concoction. Yeah. What else?
And jalapeno. That's
right.
The
okay.
Drink hits back from that scene where Fred slaps Serena. Fred slaps June, and then June slaps him back, and then Rita tells Nick, "Your girlfriend's a badass." So my drink hits back too. But it's very pretty and pink. And it's really, really delicious. I'm enjoying it.
Well, speaking of people being a badass, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to actually watch in real time the second season 4 official trailer that just came out that we've been dying over for the last day or two. And we're going to watch it, and then we're just going to talk about it. So this is as close to live as you're going to get to for us. But yeah, let's just watch this and enjoy it and then just pick it apart. It's interesting because it really does expand on some of the stuff that we already kind of felt like was going on. It just gives it a little more. So it was cool, but there's just a couple really glaring things, and I'm like, what is even happening right now? Hey, the very first scene on the dock, was that Luke standing next to her? Because you can't see anything from eyes up. It's from here down, but I think it was Luke. So that means that we know that they must at least, between that and the elevator scene, we know that they do actually meet up. So that's good.
That's a taller man with facial hair. So, I mean, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that potentially being Luke. But it's certainly Twello's voice.
Right.
Well, yeah, the voiceover was Twello, wasn't it? It was?
Mm-hmm.
What was the voiceover even saying? I don't remember.
It sounded a lot like when Emily was picked up when she crossed the border, and she was kind of read not her rights, but if she had to claim asylum.
Yeah.
It sounded very similar verbiage to that, but it definitely,
Okay.
I think, was Twello. I agree with you, Roxy. That was Twello.
I had to watch that barn scene over and over again, and like when they put her on the table and they flip her, like they start flipping her backwards, and I was thinking, like, are they going to be waterboarding her? And then I'm like, I was trying to explain it away. I was like, oh no, maybe this is a safe house and she's going to have that surgery now, and that's the table that they're putting on her on to
Oh, wow.
do the surgery.
That
And
was
then I was really
optimistic.
like, look, it can't be that. It can't be that easy, right? But no, I think she was getting waterboarded.
Yeah, that looked like some straight up interrogation tactics.
Yeah.
It definitely did. I'm sorry, what surgery are you talking about though, Scarlett?
The surgery that I assume she's going to need from that bullet wound that we don't know how the hell she recovers
yes, okay.
from, you know?
Yes. Thank you. That's a very good point. No, yeah, I agree. That definitely looked like a more of a waterboarding sort of thing. Holy shit.
Yeah, right?
I have so many questions. Are we just going to go bit by bit?
I think so. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, I get confused.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so this shot here, I would say it's pretty safe to assume that that's the big kitchen that we're seeing in that first trailer, where they're all the handmaids and the wife are sitting at that
Yeah.
long table.
Yeah.
That has to be this house right there.
Yeah. The
It just looks
farm.
so similar and barn-like.
Yeah.
It does seem a safe presumption as well, considering it looks quite decrepit and not well maintained just by this one little clip right here. And it's safe to presume that if you have that many that many refugee handmaids in one spot with a wife, there's a good chance it's going to be somewhere that's quite isolated.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this place is looking extra shitty and shady, so.
So what are we thinking? Safe house?
Yeah. Maybe.
So that's
Potentially.
my gut.
It could be this could be McKenna Grace's farm. We know they
I
end
think
up there.
so.
Also, I want to just note the swing on the side.
Oh yeah, good point.
I didn't notice that.
Yep.
Yeah, that screams to me that this is either a safe house or a refugee place for children. Maybe it's an orphanage of some or was in a former iteration in the before times, because there are no unwanted kids nowadays. But yeah, this maybe it's a schoolhouse, but yeah, that definitely says to me that this is a place that the handmaids would be welcomed.
You know what, too? It could also, we know McKenna Grace, when they go to her and somehow encounter her in whatever form, she has a farm. I don't know who her commander is, but we know that she is the mistress of this farm. And we know that she's super young. This could have been her swing set like 6 years ago.
Oh wow.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for more backstory. I just have so many questions on this character, and I just need
know.
more information.
You know,
What
like
these
she is the
trailers
wild
give us.
card, too. We know nothing
Yeah.
about her.
I know. So that looks like an eye van, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And and then that's your interrogation scene.
Yeah, okay,
where
that's not
Yeah.
surgery. That's...
I
No.
could see where you would have thought that for a half a second.
yeah.
And then, so this shot here where they're getting caught, do you think that's what it is? That's them getting caught, and this is June getting interrogated after all these flashlights are coming in on wherever they are?
Maybe. I don't like to think about that, though, man, because that means that all those girls are going to get scooped if that's what's happening.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
We don't know when this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they have a good run for a little bit, but I really wonder if that's going to be the end of that good run.
Right.
I'm gonna operate under the assumption that just as some of the larger movie studios nowadays will piece together bits and bobs for trailers to throw people off the scent, I'm really hoping that this is what's happening here. That they've thrown together these scenes that are cutting back and forth. With Alma standing up and looking worried, and then the door busting down, just to kind of give us that sense of foreboding
Yeah.
and doom, and that this isn't something that really happens. I have to hold on to that hope because we need something nice to happen.
I don't want that to happen at
I
all.
agree. Yeah, we'll see.
That's going to be a blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like you clinging to hope there, Roxy. Thank you.
It's not often I do that. Maybe that
Yeah.
scene's getting to my head.
So now we get a shot of them back in the handmaid mobile, which is
Yeah.
disconcerting.
Yeah. Oh. Well, her face is all fucked up. Like a lot more than it usually is in the past. I don't know if this is a flashback to the past.
Oh, okay. I like that thought. Yeah, I forgot about
Potentially.
flashbacks. That's totally a thing.
Aunt Lydia looking spry as ever.
Her admonishing face is on, of course. Yeah, see, that's the waterboarding thing that I was talking about.
Yeah,
I really think that might be what it was.
Yeah.
They're like pouring.
That's for sure got to be
Yeah,
waterboarding.
100%. Yeah.
And it's got to be in that same scene as June.
Yeah.
Or they are really trying to make us think that.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
And she's either in hiding or
in
locked
some
up
sort
somewhere.
It's some sort of torturous constraint. Or could this be Moonlight and she's hiding somewhere?
It's possible.
It's possible, but more likely this is part of the torture scenario.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know who that was with the helicopter. Is that
Don't know.
Luke? I can't tell.
No.
No,
there's fuzzy tufty hair at the top.
Yeah, he doesn't have fuzzy tufty hair.
I don't know who this is or what this is. It's a helicopter.
Don't know who that is either, but yeah, the helicopter of doom is always nice. Anytime that we hear that sound or the sound of sirens in the background, it's always foreboding.
Or dogs barking.
Mm-hmm.
So this conversation was interesting.
Yeah, this is what we had said a lot was going to happen in season 3. By the end of season 3, we're like, season 4, everyone is going to have enough of June's shit. Because she's going to get a lot of people in trouble once that plane gets out. And as much of a success as it is, it's going to come back to everyone who remains. And I think this is what that conversation is, essentially.
Absolutely. I mean, by the fact that they were saying, you don't want anything to do with her. Everyone that looks for her or helps her ends up on the wall. Which implies that there are at least 1 or 2 characters in season 4 that end up on the wall for helping June.
It's possible, yeah.
I'm voting Larry. It breaks my heart to say it, but considering in this trailer, it's the exact same shot and the exact same conversation as the first trailer that we see with his conversation with Nick, and that's it. We don't get any other scene of Larry. So
I think we do though, because at the end, like that really quick, like somebody getting pushed off the bridge part.
Yeah.
That looked like him doing the pushing.
That's the only thing I think I know for sure. Well, not for sure, but that's the only one I could really make out at all. I did agree that was Larry.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. I take
that's
that comment
okay.
back.
It's so fast that
yeah.
And also, you two have watched this before. This is my first time watching.
Yeah.
So thank you. Okay. Well, in any event, the Marthas are making it clear that no one's putting up with June's bullshit anymore. But Nick is still trying, and it's very sweet. Whatever.
This trailer is very Nick and June heavy, so prepare yourself, Roxy.
Oh yeah, there were definitely there were some pretty heavy makeout sessions that I saw blipped across the screen. I'm ready for that.
All right, so this is them in the snow.
That shot of the Marthas that we're talking, that right there. There's a van. There's an eye or a guardian. I'm going to presume that there are some other friendly guardians that are part of the Martha Underground network then.
Oh, cool. I didn't notice him.
Interesting.
Nice.
Oh, I like what you're saying.
Because why else would they be having this conversation about a refugee who Lydia just said has been hiding for 19 days making a mockery of Gilead?
Yep.
And they're having this conversation in front of him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless he's trusted and he's a friend, which then implies that either there are guardians within the Martha network, and the Martha network is much wider than originally thought, or there's also a guardian network.
Oh, that would be fascinating. We do know that maybe not the Guardians, but at least the Eyes, or at least Nick, was definitely in with the Martha network at Jezebel's with Beth in season 1.
Yep.
So we know that at least the Martha network sees Nick as friendly. At least some of them do. So,
if they're going to see one of the guardians as friendly, then who's to say that there's not others?
Right. If they're kind of working hand in hand. Oh, that's pretty cool. Good point. We saw that shot already in trailer 1. Same with that one.
Yep.
See anything? Can you see what's written backwards through that wall?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Dante's Pizzeri. Pizzeria!
Oh.
Duh.
Okay.
Wow.
That was good work, guys. Sorry, I just that rabbit hole. I thought that was more something that was written there, not so much something that's a logo, but
Yep, Dante's Pizzeria. That's a
all
logo.
right, pizza,
Okay.
got it.
That's cool. Is it a nod to Dante's Inferno, though?
That's what made me think of,
Almost
because it does look
certainly.
like flames.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
It almost certainly.
that's funny.
Oh, I like it.
Now, this is where she's saying she's eluded you for 19 days, right?
Yeah.
19 days. Yeah, 19 days.
Yeah, do you think she's talking to Nick when she says your soldiers?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It made me think, I don't really know why, or if that's logical to think about.
She could also be saying it to Fred.
No. Fred?
You don't
in
think?
Canada?
Oh, nope, good point. Fred's in Canada.
Nah, I don't think Fred can do shit.
Another commander, though. She could be saying
Yeah.
it to a commander. And this
Yeah.
could be where we see the introduction of, what's the name of the evil commander that we all
Judd.
hate? Judd.
Oh, gosh, that would be cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see Judd. I forgot that we're on the lookout for Judd.
So this
Yeah.
could be
Oh, I like that.
Lydia amping it up, because there are allusions, or not allusions, she says as much in the Testaments, that Lydia and Judd have been through some shit together, and they rely on each other for information.
Right.
I don't know if I could see Lydia speaking to him like that, though, because
That's
she's
true.
very forceful and commanding. Like, she's talking to him like she's the commander, and we know that she has a way of wording things in the Testaments with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as direct. Like, what she says can still pass for
careful.
being polite and careful.
But she's like that when he's in his position of power that we know him in the Testaments. Perhaps at this point he's still
Maybe.
lower ranked.
The reason I think that it is Judd, and that therefore he would be higher ranked, is it's the your soldiers. That's what I think made me think Nick, just because we know that he does have soldiers, and he is in town looking for June as well. But Judd, from the Testaments, we know that he starts out as the commander. He's low on the totem pole when he meets Lydia and turns her into one of the founding aunts, and he's in charge of the aunts' whole sector in terms of Gilead, and that is very low for a commander to be in charge of these women things. But
Right, that's a good
we know
point.
eventually he becomes commander of the Eyes. So if this is somewhere in that timeline and he is already the commander of the Eyes because Price is dead, if Judd moves into that spot once Price is dead, and we know Price died in season 2, then potentially this could be his soldiers that are looking for her, and maybe she is yelling at him because their relationship is slightly different. I'm not sure. I agree with what you're saying, Scarlett, that it is out of character for her to speak to him that way, at least from what we've seen. But I really love the idea of Judd coming. I forgot that we talked about that.
Yes.
See, I totally want that to happen, but I also don't know if it's going to happen in this season. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards it not being him, because we only know of like one major player being introduced in this season, and that's McKenna Grace. And I feel like if we were going to be introduced to Judd, who we know has a lasting impact all the way through to the very end of Gilead, I feel like I don't know how they would keep that under wraps, that they're going to have this, person who's going to figure very prominently. Almost like on par with a Bradley Whitford kind of situation to see the end of the series through. That's the only reason why I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense.
That does make a lot of sense. But stranger things have happened where than an actor being hidden from the IMDb until the day of the release. They do have to drop some bombshells. They have to keep us guessing about some things. And we've guessed a lot of things right based off of things we're going to see later in this trailer. So I don't know. Maybe it could be.
Well, even if we don't see him this season, I really hope that we at least get a nod to him, a reference of him. Like, certainly Lydia knows who he is at this point in her timeline. Yeah. So even if she's talking about him, that would be really cool. I just want a Judd nod. So she says, she has eluded your soldiers for 19 days. Find her and bring her to me. And that is kind of something she would say to Judd, especially if she's in charge of the aunts and the handmaids. Oh, then we have Janine, and she looks pretty heartbroken. This is a hard scene to hear her speak that, She says, do you have some secret, brilliant plan?
Okay.
And then June responds, I made a promise to hurt them the way we hurt. But yeah, to see Janine looking so distressed and upset, and we just don't see that often, She goes to her happy place so quick, and she seems pretty much at the end of her rope, which is a really hard thing to see because I didn't know Janine had an end of her rope. Yeah. But it's all new for her. You've taken her out of all of her safety and comfort.
Yeah.
So I can see that's actually going to be a really interesting thing to watch Janine cope with whatever the rest of her journey is through this season, because it's a big change for her and how she deals with things.
That is a very good point. June had the time to kind of wrap her head around this because she was the idea was her genesis anyway. Alma, we know, is team get the fuck out of Dodge. Every other one of these handmaids has expressed that. And as much as Janine has sort of at parts talked about how awful it is and how she'd love to like go out for tequila, for margaritas, and like maybe like one day we'll go to a bar and we can like go dancing, and like she definitely talks about it, but for her it's more wistful as opposed to actionable. So she has sort of it does almost feel as though she like there's a potential that she could feel like she's been thrust into this position and she's not mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
She could also be looking at June as like, wow, you are actually not helping my situation at all. Like a lot of people have been, you know, been aggravated with her. And it's if that's coming from Janine, it's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Because they have such a tight bond, but also because they have that bond, she is probably just feels like she's totally in a position to call June on her shit. Like, because now she's in it too. All of June's actions are impacting her too.
Right. And Janine calls June on her shit in season 3 in the bottle episode in the hospital when she's like contemplating killing Natalie. And Janine is like, what are you doing? Like, do you see what you're doing right now? Think about it. She's one of us. And I don't remember the exact quote that she says to her. But yeah, Janine is really good at holding a mirror up to June when she needs it. So that'll be an interesting scene. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, then we have some Handmaid, Martha, Alma, and company taking out somebody at that. Looks like the farm.
Alma?
Yeah.
I
think
that's
so.
Alma.
That's definitely Alma.
Good for Alma. And is that...
I don't recognize the one next to her. No, it's not Janine.
Making a very angry face.
If it's Janine, she's not wearing her patch.
Yeah, that's not Janine.
No. No, there's 2 eyeballs there. Okay.
So then that's the rest of June saying we made a promise to hurt them the way we hurt. Then you get looks like they're taking her fingerprints. Do you think that's Canada or Gilead?
I would imagine that it would be in Canada, some sort of in processing for refugees, or perhaps some sort of interrogation, because she is public enemy number 1 to Gilead. So perhaps they want to do their own sort of investigation before granting her asylum.
Yeah, I agree. That's got to be Canada. I would think that if Gilead wants her fingerprints, they would already have it.
Yeah.
All right, we get Serena. Do you think that's Serena getting her fingerprints?
That looks like
taken?
she was getting a mugshot picture.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that that's Serena's hand?
But that's, I was wondering about that. But this is also very, like, kind of dim for a mugshot picture. But, I mean, who the hell knows where she is, too, so.
Yeah, but we haven't seen her taken in yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. We see her get arrested, but we don't see her being processed.
Right. Yeah, I bet that's what's happening. And she's sitting in that, looks like that same prison room. Right? And it's snowing.
It looks like her sad and pathetic greenhouse.
Oh, shit, it does.
Love that.
You're right.
Man.
Oh, she's such a sad wilting orchid in there.
She is. Surrounded by her wives' blue chairs.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's such a white blue. Oh, I love it. Great.
Wow.
All right, so here we go. A plane left Gilead, landed
at Pearson.
Landed at Pearson, and there were 86 children on board. I don't know what's happening here. Either they are talking about another 86 kids that got lifted somehow, or I like what you had said the other night, Roxy, about how maybe they were referring to as 86 children of Gilead, meaning like total. I just don't think that first plane had 86 anything on it.
I mean, there definitely was a conversation about it being 52.
Yeah.
52 children. But I know I had said like maybe it was like 86 children of Gilead. Had it been Fred saying that line of dialogue, then then I'd be more inclined to believe myself. But I'm going to disagree with myself there. Just because I can. Because it's Twello saying it. There's an implication that he wouldn't use language such as, like, he wouldn't use children with the implication of it being children of Gilead.
Yeah.
He would say 86 children because they're minors.
Yeah. What if he's lying to Fred?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
I don't know
Possibly.
what the difference between 52 versus 86 is, but it could just be a lie. Because it sounds like
Yeah.
he's talking to Fred when he says this. Because Fred
Yeah.
responds.
Unless maybe he's just making shit up. Maybe he told
he's
them,
just
like, yeah,
wrong.
there's another plane.
Yeah.
And
bluffing
to
it.
make
Right.
to put pressure on Fred for whatever reason.
Right.
And then, allegedly her and this is Serena and Fred looking at each other. This will start another war. Like, now we're up to potentially 138 Elian Gonzalez situations.
Yeah. Holy shit, right?
I'm less inclined to think that that's you know what, I don't think that there was a second plane. I really don't. I'm gonna lean towards continuity error.
That's such an
Interesting.
obvious one,
I
though.
know, huh?
Yeah, it's an obvious one.
But it's only
but
obvious to us because we spent so long trying to figure out what 52 meant.
So I'm leaning towards continuity error.
I'm leaning towards continuity error on Twello's part. Like intelligence continuity error, not show and continuity error.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with. I think either Twello's wrong or he's lying. Like, his information is just wrong because he doesn't really care. 52, 86 doesn't really matter.
Right.
Or he's lying because for some reason 86 does matter to Fred. But either way, Fred is insistent that it is going to start a war. And I think that is exactly what season 4 is all about.
Yeah.
So that's looks like another conversation with
Janine.
Janine, in June. She says, we came here to fight. June, she says, no, you came here to fight.
That is a very good point, is that perhaps June is signing them all up for a war that they didn't sign up for. Maybe they just want to escape and survive. And
Right. Wonder what this means for June and what she'll be, if that's what she's going to end up struggling with this season, is just further finding her footing of being a leader and making sure that if she's a leader, she has to worry about everyone's motives within who she's leading. She can't lead a group of people on a June mission, which is essentially what last season was.
Bridge scene with her and Nick is interesting. I love that we get more her and Nick.
Oh, shit. So this is where she's in red. She's in Handmaid?
yeah.
Yeah, you're telling me that they didn't get her new clothes at some point? Like, she's just gonna be
Well,
walking
that's
around
what
in
I'm
handmaid
wondering.
clothing?
Is she back in Gilead as a handmaid? No, she
Me?
can't do that, right? She can't. She's public enemy number 1.
Oh my god. Nothing is clear.
Punishing. But you know what, though? I can see Aunt Lids doing that. If by some chance she happened to be recaptured and they... do you hang her up on the wall and make a martyr of her? Or do you stick her back into Handmaid's life and let her fade into obscurity and wither away?
June wouldn't,
kill
though.
her.
She
This one
is
just
such a liability.
Yeah.
She's a massive liability. I'm not saying she's not, but how do you you can kill a person, but you have to break a symbol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with that. If I agree with what you're saying, that could be a motivation that they would do with June, but based on what we're seeing here, she's not broken if she's meeting up with Nick on a bridge. Like,
That is a very good point. Also, who's
she
that
seems
person
to have
in
a
the
lot of agency as she wanders through wherever she is.
That's a very good point. Also, who's that person in the background behind Nick?
I don't know. Maybe like a guardian just posting
Oh,
watch
shit.
or something.
That random person, huh? All right, then we get June, probably at the farm, definitely in those Martha-ish clothing.
Our boy, Irreverent Larry.
Oh, Larry, and this is when he says to Nick, some women don't want to be saved. And it looks like June is surrounded in the same clothing that she was wearing in that shot. Someone looked dead.
Someone looks dead.
Oh,
Okay.
Huh.
She looks like she's been surrounded by those guards that busted down that door. I mean, same lighting, same garb.
Yeah.
Same lights on the weapons.
Someone's dead. So did she kill him?
That does look like the person wearing black. So it's potential.
It's not Nick, right?
Oh, shit. I don't think so. God, that was...
No.
Oh, jeez.
No, it can't be Nick because at the end of the Testaments, the girls are
Yeah, that's
reunited
right.
with their mother and their fathers.
Thank you.
Nick survives.
But you're right. Technically,
You know
he
what
might
I mean.
not be dead. But I think that one is a dead guardian that is not Nick,
Yeah.
is my guess.
That's definitely a guardian that's worse for the wear.
Then we get Janine.
Mm-hmm.
I love the color of that
Emily.
hat on her. It's
Emily.
completely frivolous, but I just really thought
I
that was
liked
great.
it too. I was
It
just
was
gonna say
darling.
I thought it was not worth mentioning, but I really liked her hat and her
good.
new eye patch, or maybe it's her old one, but it looked good with the hat.
Yeah.
I'm presuming that this is Emily at the immigration center.
Yeah.
And it looks as though she's looking at families that have been torn apart. And I'm guessing that this is her way of finding some sort of sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Now that she's back, or now that she's in Canada, by trying to empower other people and help other people reconnect with their families the way that she's been afforded the opportunity to.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Yes, she does, right? I know. I can't wait to see more of that. Moira. Where's Moira at? Nothing
No,
discernible.
she's walking
that I
with
can see.
purpose.
Walking with a purpose. I like it. All right. So this is Moira and June. Did you know this already?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because this looks very similar to the shot that we saw in the first trailer,
Mm.
but I definitely don't remember noticing June in it.
No, I don't recall that either.
That's crazy. Oh gosh, I am dying for this reunion. I have no idea what's happening in this context, but I don't care because they're both alive and they're seeing each other, and that makes me so happy. All right, then we see June looking like she just got bombed.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have Moira talking to somebody. She says she's public enemy number 1 in Gilead. She's not going to last another week here.
Mm-hmm.
What does that
Where's here?
mean? I know, right? That was very confusing to me. So she's, well, I mean, I guess from that shot with the bombing, it looks like she's in Canada. Or Moira's in Gilead. I don't know, one of the
I
two.
thought they were in
Or-
Chicago, though.
That's
Yeah.
hypothetical as well, because
Yeah.
Chicago is war torn presently.
Mm.
It's possible that Moira has decided to move to the front.
Yeah.
I don't know why
No.
she.
But, yeah, I could see her working like as a refugee aid
Mm.
on the
A
front
liaison.
lines like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, gosh, that'll be so cool.
I really hadn't thought about the possibility of Canada being the location of the bombing. I just didn't think about it. I had really just kind of gotten just like accepted the idea that this is probably Chicago and didn't think about that. But
Right.
especially since in the trailer, was it Fred that was saying this could start another war?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
this is going to
something.
start a war.
And
This is
we-
going to start
Maybe
a war.
that's it.
And we know that Tuello is reading June her refugee rights or whatever you would call that opening statement. So, and we see her on the pier. So all signs point to June steps foot in Canada at some point. And if she does, then yeah, she could actually be the target of a bombing that starts a war, just like Fred says. All right, this is that scene where she takes off her handmaid outfit. We talked about that in the other trailer. And then you got Larry saying,
Perhaps she's fulfilled her purpose, and it's time to move on.
That's basically his way of saying, like, you need to accept the fact that she is not going to last much longer.
yeah. Oh gosh. And he says, I can't.
So she's wearing the same shit that she was wearing in that previous still with Moira calling her name and June turning around. Emily's right there. Now they're going to run.
And this
I mean,
looks
not
like-
Emily. I'm sorry. Janine is right there. So
Oh.
what happens?
This does seem like
This-
the bombing.
The before of the bombing.
Yeah.
'Cause she's not all fucked up.
Yep.
But
And then
Janine
she's
is
gonna
there.
be- and Janine's there, and then Janine's not. Is that what you're
Janine's
saying?
not.
Oh my gosh.
Bye,
Oh my
Janine.
gosh.
Yep, that's a bombing.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting.
So is that going to be like
Very
a series
fascinating.
of bombs like down the street or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want. Oh my God, Roxy, you're going to get big explosions.
Yes! Finally!
I know.
I've been very patient. That's all that I wanted in the season 3 finale. So, may only have to wait 12 more weeks at the most.
Not quite yet. So this is first June's monologue, and she says, "How can I face him?" We see a shot of Luke, and then we see that cage that Hannah's in.
That wasn't a monologue. She was saying that to somebody, and she was pretty hysterical.
Yeah, I guess it's a monologue because we don't know who she's talking to. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
voiceover. We just know she's saying it
Yeah.
to someone. We're not getting the context of when she's saying this. Trying to see the background of what this contraption is that they have Hannah in and where they're at, but I'm not really getting anything.
It looks like the thing in you.
That's all I can think of. Yeah.
Oh man,
Percent.
it looks like I've never seen You. There's a movie called The Cell.
Oh, that movie scared the shit out of me.
That's what it reminds me of.
Oh,
Is this
no.
glass cell enclosure specifically for a violent criminal, but sweet little Hannah's in there instead.
Sweet little Hannah. She's not looking at her too. She's got her back to her. That's kind of interesting. Huh. Oh, never mind. She's turning.
Oh,
this
yeah. Well,
kills me. This kills me so much. Gosh.
Everything that's happened to her is because of me.
Now I know of Luke saying she chose to stay in Gilead. I can't ask God for something she doesn't want, or
Something she didn't want.
What the hell,
There's
Luke?
a lot of things she didn't want. What does that mean?
Right? Like, I mean, all I get out of that is it's still him whining that she didn't get on that plane, and I'm like, seriously, dude, like, there's more to it than that. She doesn't want to come back. She doesn't want to get out of Gilead. So you can't ask God for that? Like, I don't know. I'll wait and get the context of what he's saying, but he annoyed me in this trailer here.
Yeah. Now, Fred. Fred.
All right. He's looking pretty disheveled.
Yeah, he is. And
Yeah.
because he's looking at the picture, or he's looking
is
at
it?
an
Yeah.
ultrasound.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's so wild.
Bombshell, baby.
He's looking at an ultrasound and he's looking real rough.
He's
So,
looking...
all right. What are we thinking? That's Fred and Serena's baby, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it might be Fred and Serena's baby.
Yeah. I'm also thinking I want to see a little more gray in his hair. He needs to look a little more worse for the wear. I'm just hoping that he's looking like shit by the time he leaves this season.
Right.
With any luck. In any event, I think it's by his face, whether it's his baby, whether it's Twilla's baby, which we've definitely hypothesized about and thought that would be fun. It's got to be Serena's baby. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, who else's ultrasound would he look at and have that look of consternation?
Yeah.
There's
We want to
so
know
many
all of our
thoughts on
thoughts
this.
on Serena and all the different implications of her being pregnant and all the different possible fathers. We have 2 videos on YouTube. Serena's pregnancy part 1 and Serena's pregnancy part 2 in season 4 predictions. And it's like a half hour where we talk about every different angle there could be about Serena and her pregnancy and what we want to see.
Yep.
Do you have any new thoughts? Because I got nothing.
No.
Other than, holy shit, it's confirmed. I can't wait to see it.
Yes.
People are cheering. What is happening?
This is messed
Wild.
up. I mean, so Serena looks like she's smiling. Like, they look like they are walking out of there doing like a, PR red carpet walk. And then you've got people with the Free the Waterford signs. Like,
Bless
what
you,
the hell is
Serena.
happening?
What is happening? I didn't even think I noticed this when I watched the trailer. I didn't think I read the signs. What an idiot. Wow.
Fred must have worked some PR magic to make this happen. I don't know what's happening here. But for Canadians to have this perception that they are somehow the victims here, that's fucked up. It's not the first time that we would see somebody in custody try to control the narrative of their trial. I mean, Ted Bundy did it.
Exactly. And it's also not surprising that, because we have Fred is a PR spinner and Serena is beautiful and charismatic. And the 2 of them together, when they do put their mind to something, can accomplish amazing goals. So, I mean, it's possible that they were able to spin something. It's also possible that perhaps there are sympathists to Gilead within Canada, which complicates the Canadian response.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, Canada had its own little, set of, Trump supporters. It baffled most people.
But they were still there.
Yeah, so.
All right, so now we get, that's Nick and June, right? Maybe at the farm?
Looks like it's at the farm, yeah.
And she's finally not in the Handmaid. So we get one reunion where she's in Handmaid clothes and one reunion where she's not. And he says, freedom agrees with you. And then you get her voice saying, freedom. Oh, we are not free. All right. This is what I guess I was thinking about when we were talking about Fred and Serena and their sympathists in their trial. Do you think this is what we're seeing? Is June showing up to testify?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right, and that's June getting out. It's Serena. All right, so
That is the confrontation I want to see.
that
They're
is
so good
seriously
together.
the confrontation I want.
Absolutely.
And you get June's voice saying, "You have destroyed my land," and you get the shot of the handmaids and Lydia, my family, Nicole and Luke, my friends, Emily driving.
Hooray.
That looks like it's got to be a flashback, yeah, to the
Yeah.
Red Center.
Yeah.
That's a Gilead thing.
Yeah.
Insignia there. My friends.
And then she says, my country.
I don't think I can.
I can't make that out.
I
I
just
have no
No.
idea who
I
that
don't
is.
think they want us to be able to make this
No,
out.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's Larry, but that
Yeah.
remains to be seen too.
It looks like Larry and it looks like June. And I don't know who that third person could possibly be.
Somebody.
Well, let's think of it this way. We know based off of that dirty glare that Larry gave June during Eleanor's funeral, he knows that she was responsible, whether directly or indirectly, for Eleanor's death. So he might harbinger some ill will at this point towards June. This is all conjecture.
Yeah.
But let's say hypothetically that Larry is feeling a bit vindictive, and he brings June up to and someone that she holds extremely dear, and makes her feel the same pain that he's felt.
Well, that would be fucked up, but I could.
Yeah.
If I see where you're going with it. I don't know if that's Larry, but you never
don't think
fucking
it's-
know with Larry.
I don't think it's Larry, but we've also talked about how Larry has nothing left to lose at this point.
Yeah.
So if that would be the case, let's go down a hypothetical rabbit hole. Who would it be? Moira?
Ooh. Don't
The
touch
likelihood
my
of-
Moira.
I know I would stop watching the show, probably.
I know, huh?
Samira Wiley has already been done dirty and killed off in one other show, and it was the worst thing they could have done. If they did that to her again, I think people would riot. So let's presume it's not her.
I would presume it's somebody in Gilead. Yeah, if Larry's getting his hands on her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's
So-
Olivia Winslow. Maybe she's going to make her final appearance. It's like, I can't marry this. Boom.
I like that. That's
No.
Winslow pancake.
Oh, boy.
I like that idea. Only because it's gratifying to think about. But who is still in Gilead that June holds dear?
Well, it would be a real fucked up move if it was Mrs. Mackenzie, because now not only have you taken Hannah's first mother from her, you've just taken her second.
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh. Oh, that's dark, Marjorie.
And that would hurt June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ew,
Yep.
don't like that. Oh, gosh.
Trying to
I
think
like
of
that.
what they would do to hurt June, because most of the people are out of Gilead's grasp.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, although, I mean, who knows? It looks like they all get caught at this point. But I don't know who else would matter to June as much as anyone that it would affect Hannah.
Yeah. That's a very, very strong point. I like that.
It might not have even necessarily been somebody that matters to June. It could just
No.
be him making a
Just
point.
making a point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could
Or
be making
maybe
a
that
point.
person is somebody they were working with and she betrayed them.
That's what I was thinking. So remember, Scarlett, I think you had said recently that we haven't really seen a real betrayal yet. And what
Yeah.
if that's the ramifications or the fallout of a real betrayal
Maybe.
of June and Larry? And that's what they have to do is now kill this person. Oh, that would be really interesting
Ooh.
character
Very
development.
dark.
Yeah, but that's hard for that. That's where June's heading, though. You know what I mean? At least in terms of her resistance growth, we've seen her have to continually make hard decisions, but she hasn't had to do that yet. She couldn't
Right.
shoot the Martha that ran, Kiki's Martha, in season
Yeah.
3.
That's
She threatened
true.
to, and she just couldn't when it came down to it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
That would be a real big step for her.
Yeah, But that's an interesting conversation to have of what Gilead does to everyone in its grasp. Yeah. All right, what's this scene with Serena? Think that's what June?
Yeah.
Think that's back at June's head there?
I hope so. I really hope so, because Serena looks like she is on her knees right now. And if there's anybody I want to see Serena on her knees in front of, it's June.
Right? Yeah.
Because they're like electrifying when they're together.
Yes. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see what is happening here. It just reminds me so much of Serena when she's saying goodbye to Holly, right at the end of season 2, episode 13, and she's just sobbing, and she kind of looks up as June takes the baby away, and it's very similar shot. That's the first thing I thought of, but we don't see Serena in that broken often. Right. And I'm ready to see it.
Like, I wonder if it's trial time or something. We know that June looks like she's going to be testifying. And I'm wondering, they have such a complicated history. And I'm wondering if the Waterfords are banking on June not saying anything because they're going to try to use a multitude of shit against her to discredit her. And I don't know if this is before that happens, like when they're still in negotiations, or maybe it's like after. Like, what if the Waterfords actually get held responsible and they are sentenced to whatever it is they'll be sentenced to, and June and Serena get to meet after that, so June can say her piece in its entirety before they part ways. What if this is the last time that we're going to see Serena?
No. I refuse to accept that.
I do too, but we know that they don't last long.
We know that no one knows what happened to them.
Yeah.
Right.
That doesn't mean anything in this show. You know what I mean? There's so much gray area there. They could really explain away whatever the hell they want to.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready to get rid of Serena. She's too dynamic to the show.
Absolutely.
She is.
There's more story to tell. Her pregnancy will make this story interesting, and Serena's arc will... There'll be so many different things. Like you said, we've already talked about the million different things that we want to see or could see. There's so much here with this Serena pregnancy. And this scene here where she's pleading, if she's pleading with June to not testify so that she doesn't lose this baby that she's now finally pregnant with, like, I want to see that. I want her to beg for her child, and I want June to say no.
I want Serena's daughter to grow up to be a Pearl girl.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I don't.
Well, the Pearl girls...
Because Serena would be great with that. She'd be like, great.
I know. It's true.
No,
Serena probably came up with the damn Pearl girls. I know it's Lydia, but...
No, it would mean that her daughter wouldn't be able to bring honor onto Gilead by being married and having a family of her own.
No.
Yeah, but she'd be able to read. So
to read, that's what I'm thinking.
I think that's a good point.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like this is
point.
Serena's dream job for her child. She's
Can you
just
sneak
gonna
in
put
some
them all
books,
into
kid?
supplicant school.
Yeah, good point. Never mind. I don't want that.
And then go off to Canada and recruit new people. Come on. That's Serena to a T. Who is this man with Janine?
Oh, no!
Mystery man.
And Janine's got a gun, and that is so cool. And someone in some comments somewhere, I believe on YouTube, said they really hope Janine finds her own brand of resistance. And I like this brand of resistance that she looks like she found, because that looks really super cool.
I do too.
She looks so strong.
She looks feisty. I love it.
She's brave.
She's brave. Oh, that's right. She wanted to be brave. She is brave. She said.
Brave.
Oh. Quick shot at Nick, and then Larry and Lydia. Okay, so you think that's who she's talking to? So what if Larry does... All right, so somebody on YouTube had very recently, before we jumped on here to record this, said that they don't think Larry's going to get purged because there's too much of a vacuum in the power, the hierarchy of top commanders in Boston. He's too good and too powerful to not be able to maneuver himself out of that situation is, I think, essentially what they were saying. And I agree with that statement. Although I would say we just don't know how many commanders are underneath Larry that are all vying for that top position as well and could totally use this opportunity to get him purged. But if we say that Larry does manage to get himself out and does have still a lot of power within Gilead, that would really explain this conversation between Lydia and Lawrence. Yeah. And I would then say that Lydia is talking to him when she says, find her and bring her to me, your soldiers, that whole conversation.
Maybe.
Maybe, although I don't know if her face looks as beat up here.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and it doesn't look because she's standing in the same room.
The same, you're right. It is a very different setting.
What if that's the confrontation immediately after everybody realized that these kids got lifted and they ultimately go to her house? Or his house.
Yes. That's a great point. Yeah. I could see that.
I can too.
All right. Now you got, we can see what she's wearing. Commission for Emergency Relief Aid. Okay. So there's that. And it looks like they are running for, I'm going to say, a Canadian border, but it could be anything. And then you got, this is the elevator scene that you were talking about. I
think that's mistapping.
Yeah, it is, right? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So that looks pretty much right after the pier. Yeah.
Yeah.
See that leather cuff? That's what we see in that other shot of Hannah.
That's milk. That is a tank of milk.
Milk.
Yeah, it looks like milk. It looks like milk. It looks disgusting.
Yeah. That ties into the train thing because there's that's we see her drop down through the hole. We know that there's trains involved. It's probably one of those milk tanker cars that she jumps into.
Good point. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Gross.
Right? Oh God, she's gonna smell so sour after that. Oh.
And she's in regular clothes, asking for justice.
And it looks like she's at a tribunal.
Oh, man, I hope that's what we see.
I hope so, too.
We did it.
That's it. We got it.
Word.
There you go. We did the thing.
Any more thoughts?
Wow. Fucking wild. Absolutely wild.
I can't wait.
I don't have any other thoughts other than, God damn it, can we watch season 4 yet? Nothing else to say, just chomping at the bit for April 28th when season 4 of the critically acclaimed and Emmy-winning series, The Handmaid's Tale, makes its triumphant return. Ah! Yay. So we hope that you will join us here on our shiny brand new YouTube channel. You can also find us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. You can find us there at the Red Resistance Podcast. Find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter. All that information is in our profile.
Yep.
All that info and all those links are in our bio. So hunt us down and come rabbit hole with us.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Like they said, please go check out the YouTube channel. I put on real clothes for you guys every time we do this.
I do my makeup. I haven't done my makeup in a year.
Yeah.
Do my makeup on Mondays.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a bra, people.
Me too.
It's a pandemic. We're going above and beyond here.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Mwah.